guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is an extended weekend reading, looking at the energy surrounding us over the weekend of November 9th through the 11th. For the reading, I'm using the Sun and Moon Tarot deck by Vanessa Decort, and I've pulled additional oracle cards. Actually, there are two of them because they fell out together from the Earth Magic deck by Stephen D. Farmer. Just a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way to get a truly personalized reading would be to order a private reading from me. If you're interested, all of the information can be found in the description box below this video, so you can take a look at that and contact me by my email or using the Instant Go app, okay? All right, so let me lower this just a little bit and move my camera. There we go. All right, so we have in the past position, I like saying this in the past, the Nine of Swords. In this deck, it's called Cruelty. Oftentimes, it's referred to as the Nightmare card, right? But it does sit in the past, followed by the Four of Swords. In this deck, it's called Truce. And the outbound energy for the weekend, we have the Nine of Wands, Strength. And the card from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy for the weekend, is Major Arcana number 7, the Chariot. And the two oracle cards that came out, we have Lotus Flower and Rainbow, Blessings. Okay, so Lotus Flower is called Unfoldment, and Rainbow is called Blessing. So I'll get to these two cards after we go through the main reading. Now, starting off with the card from the bottom of the deck, so the overall energy of the Chariot. And the Chariot is it's a major arcana, right? And so it's a significant, very powerful energy. And it's a very powerful yes card, right? This is a card of victory. And it's a powerful card because you see that the man here, he is controlling the opposing energies. We have the light and the dark animals that he's controlling here, right? And so he is, he's very much in the driver's seat. He's very much in control of, where things are going, where he's heading, right? This figure here in the Chariot card. So it is associated with, it's linked with the sign of Cancer. So for some of you, that could be a Cancer individual, maybe playing a prominent role over the weekend. But it's a card that's associated with change, right? With victory, with triumph. And it's, there's momentum, there's forward movement here. And it's kind of this unstoppable, he is moving. There could be actual movement for some of you, moving across land or traveling across land. But it's a very, it's a very powerful, a very sort of forward-moving, change, powerful type of energy that surrounds this Chariot card. Now, in the past position, this Nine of Swords, you have two Swords cards. So the suit of Swords deals with the mind. It's the suit of the intellect. It's where we come up with our ideas. It's also communication, how we get those ideas across to other people, how we communicate with other people. And the Nine of Swords is, like I mentioned, is oftentimes referred to as the Nightmare card because it's a card of worry, right? It's a card of those repetitive thoughts that keep you up at night, that don't allow you to sleep properly. You get into bed and instead of being able to go to sleep immediately, it's like you're just laying there and you're going over and over and over those, those worries or those things in your head. So it's a card that speaks of, despair and worry, mental anguish. Sometimes it has to do with, even being too hard on yourself, which is why I think in this deck it's called Cruelty, because it's, it does take a toll on you when you are just so, caught up in that negative repetitive thinking here. So there's a need to release that, right? To release the negative thinking. And I believe that, and this can come about this could be a worry that you have, about any area of your life, whether this is you worried about your finances, you worried about your job, concerns about a relationship, whatever this worry is, it's excessively worrying, right? Excessively thinking and going over and over it. But you come here to the present, to this truce. This Four of Swords, it's usually a card that speaks of, retreating, taking this time out to heal from, if we think of the card that comes immediately before the Four of Swords, the Three of Swords, is a card of disappointment, a card of heartache, right? It's a difficult energy. And so the Four of Swords is like, okay, I'm going to, retreat. I'm going to remove myself from this situation, give myself time to heal, right? To heal emotionally, to heal physically, to heal spiritually. I'm going to put things on hold, and I'm just going to focus on myself, right? And this deck is actually called Truce, and it speaks of balance, but balance to kind of weigh up, problems, to be open to maybe new solutions, which is why I think they give it this name of truce, right? Because if there's a truce, it means that there's a willingness to give, right? Each side has to be willing to give a little, right? To budge a little in order to find that common ground, in order to, find or make peace. Okay. So, but there is this, this harmony, this energy of that's enough. I've had enough, and there's a calm right now with this truce. With the Nine of Wands coming up as the outbound energy, Wands is fire, right? Fire energy. And fire energy has to do with like the day-to-day matters in life. It has to do with our own determination and drive and ambition for doing the things that we do. It has to do with work, business ventures, creativity, creative projects. And the Nine of Wands is, in this deck, they call it strength, but it's usually a card that we associate with, like one final obstacle, one last hurdle that we have to get over or make it through in order to reach the 10, right? In order to complete that cycle, because we're nearly there. We're at the Nine of Wands, and 10s in the tarot are ending. So 10s complete a cycle. 10s, are the culmination of something here. So the 9s, it's like you're nearly there, right? You're nearly at the end where you can finally put down all of the wands and have a brand new beginning with an Ace of Wands coming in after it. But there might be one last thing that you have to deal with, right? So you need to have the strength, which is what this card is called, the strength to persevere, the strength and the resistance and the willpower to make it through, right? So mental strength, emotional strength, in order to reach your goal, in order to make it through whatever this last obstacle is. And it's usually kind of a defensive energy, right? It's usually the Nine of Wands, we think of it as moving forward, but with caution, right? Moving forward, but still keeping your eye on, what's going on around you. So there is forward movement, but, you might need to do so with a little more cautiously. You might need to have a little extra inner strength in order to do that, and however this plays out. But with the Chariot as the overall energy, there is, a sort of a peacemaking. There is a you coming to terms with something. There is a you making it over whatever this last hurdle is, because you're victorious, right? You are heading towards victory. Let's take a look at the two, and I won't read all of the description for both of them because the descriptions in this particular guidebook are quite lengthy, and two cards did come out this time. So the first card that fell out was Rainbow, so I'll begin with that one. And obviously it gives the description of how a rainbow is formed, and then the message that goes along with the card is, the storm has passed, and it is time to enjoy the refreshing beauty of this cycle, even though it has been difficult to appreciate any sense of purposefulness in what you have endured lately. You can now, as they say, count your blessings. Do not just look at the brighter side, adhering to some academic mantra that has no heart or depth. but do so slowly and with genuine gratitude that is expressed up close and personal. This ever-evolving process of life itself is a blessing, an opportunity to exist as a human being on Earth. The planet is a beautiful garden, even if it does not always appear to be so. Sometimes it is only when you look back at a memory of an experience that you can truly see the blessings that have come from them. Bless your difficult or painful experiences and let them go. So that definitely ties in with what we were looking at here with the Nine of Swords, right? And this need to release. And no matter how difficult this Nine of Swords energy was, there's a need to have this truce, to find peace, to have this middle ground of, of peacefulness, in order to kind of see where you are now and to be thankful for where you're heading to, which is all very positive. And the other card that came out, Lotus Flower, is, let me see. So the message of the card, it says, your spiritual unfoldment is occurring at all times, whether or not you are aware of it. It is inevitable as long as you put your trust in the hands of the Creator, the one who holds the light. Like the lotus, your soul is always reaching for the light to fulfill its karmic destiny. But even in that process, there are periods of darkness and times to rest. We have that right here, right? Times of darkness, times to rest. It is a natural cycle, one that cannot truly be coerced or halted. It has an innate rhythm of its own, one that is unique to the being that is you. You do not need to strive to or be driven by spiritual ambition. It does no good to try to force growth upon yourself or others for that matter. Allowing is the key here. Allow the place in you that naturally wants to follow the light to do so, while recognizing that even when you have complete faith, you will face challenges and occasionally suffering. Your steady faith and love will guide you on your journey of returning to the light. So yeah, there is this, definite message coming through here from the spread of, overcoming, of having experienced something, very difficult, but needing to release that. And by releasing it, finding peace, and by finding this peace, finding this new inner strength, and, with which to move forward and kind of go towards whatever your goals are now. And understand that these, yes, these cycles, they are necessary. You think whenever we go through a very difficult period in our life, that's usually when we most learn, when we most grow spiritually, right? And now there's victory at hand. So, release these things, accept them as what they are, right? Learning spiritual lessons, and look forward to these beautiful new blessings that are unfolding, okay? So wonderful message for the weekend. I do hope that the messages have helped you. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.